Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now this is a bit of a talky video, so if you're expecting some racing, well this isn't the video for you. But I'm going to cover a topic which I think is really important, and LFM is certainly leading the way, and iRacing need to look and learn. Now, before we get into the video, please don't turn this into a bashing of one simulator or another. The simulator doesn't really matter. So don't turn it into an iRacing versus ACC thing, because that's not what this is about at all. This is about one part of what each of those services does. And I'm going to talk about why LFM does it better. But I'm genuinely interested to hear your thoughts in the comments. So I think we can all agree that iRacing is the market leader for online simulated racing. It has been for a number of years, and the user base is absolutely huge. And one of the unique selling points is that it has a code of conduct. You sign up, you've got to agree to it. So there's an expectation that you're going to behave properly. You're not going to crash people out on purpose. You're not going to abuse people, etc., etc. But before LFM came along, ACC was a bit of a nightmare on the online side of things. If you went into the public lobbies, it was carnage. And it is carnage on any simulator in a public lobby. I'm not just saying it's ACC. It's every simulator. And that's what kind of separated iRacing from all the other simulators, is this code of conduct. Now, if you watched a video that I made a couple of days ago, it was my driver of the week. Now, if you don't know what that is, well, it's a series where I'm going to highlight one driver every week. That might be for a good reason. It might be for a bad reason. Well, last week it was a bad reason. This guy was doing an oval race, and for some reason he pulled down onto the apron, waited for the cars to come past, and pulled up onto the track in front of them and just wrecked a few guys out. But like for no reason. But the driver that hit him turned out to be me. So I did what you should do. I reported the guy on iRacing and got the automated message back saying, yeah, we've noted your report. We'll deal with it. Thank you very much. Now, I received the reply back from iRacing on the 29th of September saying that the protest had been dealt with and the other member had been notified of the outcome. So this is the email that I got from iRacing. So, hi Dave, once again we'd like to thank you for taking the time to submit your protest. This email is to inform you that the protest has been reviewed and the member under protest notified of the outcome. Thank you for your continued support and good luck in future races. Well, that doesn't really tell me much. So I went on to the guy's profile. So this was dated the 29th of September. And I went onto the guy's profile. I think it was the 2nd of October. And the guy had been racing ever since. So he wasn't suspended. He wasn't banned. Nothing. So he was just racing, which is fine, right? Which is fine. Somebody's looked at it and they've decided not to for whatever reason. That's great. But for me as a paying customer, I don't know why he hasn't been suspended, right? So this email isn't really good enough, really. And iRacing will deal with things however way they want to deal with things. Who am I to tell them what to do? However, as somebody that's been on the service for almost 6 years, owns all of the content, spent a lot of money on their product, and the customer service here isn't really great. If you'd had some house renovations done and something wasn't right, you phoned the company, then you would expect a little bit more than, yeah, we've spoke to the builder, it'll be sorted. You want to know exactly what's going to be sorted, what's going to happen, and why. So that really doesn't cut it for me at all. So in contrast, we'll have a look at low fuel motorsports. Now, when you submit a protest on LFM, it's a bit more in depth than it is on iRacing. You just submit the replay on iRacing, but on LFM, you've got to actually record the replays yourself and do a little bit more work. But when you've submitted that protest, the findings are there for everybody to see on the Low Fuel Motorsports Discord. So not only do you know, everybody that's a member of LFM that's on the Discord can read the protest, who submitted the protest, who against, why, and what the outcome was. Now, I absolutely love this. Now, you can see here, there's two protests here, which I've just snapshotted from the Discord. It tells you who submitted the protest, who against, where it was, what lap, what corner, but it gives you some genuine feedback, or it gives the person that is the offender some genuine feedback. So we can see here, the decision by the stewards was a penalty. He'll be suspended for 3 days and gets a 200-point rating. That's like his iRating, and a 0.5 safety rating penalty. But if you read the bottom, it says, if you'd paid more attention to the radar, you'd have noticed that there's another car next to you. You can't just pull onto his lane. You have to adjust your line so that he still has enough room. So that's giving that driver some feedback that he can work on. Right, what will I do next time? Which is perfect. If we go down the bottom there, you can see there's another report from Donington. The steward decision, the driver gets a warning, but it tells you why he got a warning. So it says, if you stayed on your line here and not swerved to the outside, nothing else would have happened. By swerving and braking on the grass, you lose your car. But since you did everything right when you swerved and held the brakes, we'll leave it as a warning. Now, if I'd submitted that protest and the driver got a warning, it explains why I would have been happy with that. I submitted the protest on iRacing. The driver obviously has got a warning because he was still racing, but I don't know that. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if he's got a warning and why he got a warning. Why not tell the person that submitted the protest? All that it feels like is that iRacing have just got my protest, swept it under the carpet, and that's it. And that's not good enough. Now, I'm a huge iRacing fan, and I only say things negatively about iRacing because I want iRacing to get better. Well, they can have a look at Low Fuel Motorsports, who are absolutely killing it with this kind of thing. It's so much better. So for me, it's all about being transparent. If you're doing something, if somebody's got an interest in what you're doing, and you can share it with them, and there's no reason why iRacing couldn't share that information with me. If they don't want to put it out there like LFM do, there is no reason why iRacing shouldn't share the outcomes of the protest with the person that submitted the protest. They know who the driver is. They don't have to share that with anybody else, even if they put it in the terms and conditions that when they're informed of the outcome of a protest, they don't share that with anybody. That's fine. But for those people that are submitting protests like me, and you don't know what's happening, and the driver's still driving after intentionally wrecking somebody, it just doesn't work. It's just not right. But let me know in the comments what you think. Should everything be transparent for everybody to see? I can't see any reason, as I mentioned, why people who submit protests shouldn't know the outcomes. Maybe they don't have to go as far as LFM do, with making it public. That's fine. But I think the person who submitted the protest should know the outcome. Let me know in the comments down below. But as always, thank you for watching. Have a great week. See you later. Cheers.